working on his Project 8, is using visual aids. As an information technology professional for the better part of 25 years, Anthony has seen his share of computer system failures. Many of these failures have included a cornucopia, good job, of data loss. Everything from grandma's holiday photos to an accounting department losing over 200 man-hours the day after year-end close, to the president of the American Bible Society losing his speech only a few hours before it was delivered in an international audience. Anthony's speech, Project 8 from Competent Communication Manual, Get Comfortable with Visual Aids, will educate us on how important it is to back up your iLife.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow members, and honored guests, I cannot overestimate or underestimate or say over and over again, a cornucopia of times, using that word again, how important it is to back up your iLife. We all think the world is going to be nice and happy. We live in our homes, we play with our cats and dogs, we have our car and a garage, and everything's all great. We have our photo albums of years or generations of information that we just love to share with our kids and our grandkids or go back down memory lane. We might even have shelves of these books full of precious memories. We also have, unfortunately, paper. I am the anti-paper guy, but we have reams and reams of paper, everything from our graduation documents to tax documents to our marriage documents and everyday items such as receipts or other correspondence. Some of us love music. Some of us love movies. Some of us love books and have shelves and shelves and reams of, I have my hallowed collection of Stephen King, his life work in hardcover. If I was to lose that, I'd shed a tear, but of course we know everything's going to turn to dust anyway. But we have a precious possession in our homes. So while we go throughout the day enjoying ourselves, we know from this morning, Thomas, where did Thomas go? Making coffee. Anything can happen. We can lose it all in an instant, as Thomas was able to tell us this morning, and all we can say at the end of that is, "Oh no!" And unless you backed everything up with a Xerox machine and had a whole nother house, you can't keep those precious memories ultimately safe. They will degrade as moths and rust will destroy, but we cannot make a reliable backup, as we can today. We have an iLife. Today we keep our photos, our music, our movies, our precious memories, and even our documents online. And instead of a big house, we have a hard drive. We have a little thing, miracle of modern engineering, that stores all this information. I can store my entire house contents of those precious memories 3,000 times over with the system I've got at my home. And this will always happen to somebody. Has this happened to you? If it not, it's going to happen to you. So if you haven't had this happen, a hard drive failure, a data loss, again, your little precious memories from your grandmother, or a very important set of data documents, even your mortgage if you happen to lose that. So how can we protect our iLife? There's 3 major steps. Number 1, of course, is back up your data. This is very important. You cannot underestimate how important it is to back up your data. The second most important thing you can do to keep your iLife protected is back up your data. And as we all can say it with me, the third most important thing is to back up your data. It's simple, just like Bible study. It's not hard, but it's work. It does take time and effort to make sure your precious memories, your music, your documents, your iLife is backed up. 3 different ways you can do this. You can basically make a carbon copy, a snapshot in time, a time machine, as Apple would call it, where you would take today's copy of your data and make another copy and either keep it in a safe drawer or in a safe or off-site or anything like that. Another way is you can have a protected storage system. I have one of these units at home called a Drobo, where it actually is a little box and it's got 5 hard drives inside of it. And if any drive should fail, I just pop it out and stick a new one in. So should the unintended accident happen, I could just pop it out, stick it in, and bam, I'm up and running. Didn't have any downtime, didn't lose a leg. The cool thing about that, you can have 2 hard drives fail. Imagine driving down the highway and having a car hit a flat tire and you can keep on running. And you can have a second flat tire and keep on running. That's how this device works, and it is a lifesaver. Had a drive fail once, one of those green lights turned red, popped it out, stick a new one in. After about 3 hours, poof, it turned green again, and everything is good. The third thing you can do is online backup, where this actually takes a copy of your data, like that first snapshot, and puts it off-site, into the cloud, into server somewhere, and it's all done automatically in the background, and you don't have to think about it. I wouldn't say use any one of these things. I say use all 3 of these things, because if your house burns down, there goes your protected storage system, and if you didn't back up your data on a regular basis, well, you got that snapshot in time, but it's only a snapshot in time. If you have online, yes, it takes a long time, but it's there. So I would say, think of how many ways you can back up your iLife and what are the best ways to do it. And you cannot have too much backup. I'll give an example. I had a system that I worked with at the Griffin companies over here. We had a nice Mac server. We had mirrored boot disks, so if either of those 2 drives failed, it would still keep running. We had a RAID data system, where if any one of those drives failed, everyone would have access to their data. We did daily on-site backups, so if they messed something up one day, they could go back and get it restored the next day. We had weekly off-site backups, so if the building blew up, we'd still have our data. What happened Friday when we did our off-site backup? Saturday the accountants do their year-end close, and Sunday the computer fails. Anything can happen. So if we had off-site backup that was happening in real time, that was just that one extra little piece of cost or convenience that could have solved that problem. So my plea, as I've had, again, everyone from the president of the American Bible Society saying, "Where's my speech?" It was on your floppy disk, where you operated off your floppy disk that whole time, but it's gone. Do something, do anything. Don't just not back up and assume it's going to be okay. It could be stolen, your house can catch fire, or you can accidentally delete it, or overwrite it and say, "Oh, I need yesterday's copy," which I actually had to go back and get a copy from 20 days earlier on a spreadsheet, because I saw one of my formulas was bad, and I had to go back and get a spreadsheet from 20 days prior, and I was able to do that and not lose however many hours of time it would have been to recreate it. So do something, do anything, protect your iLife. Madam Toastmaster.